Welcome to the Seawall podcast. Today we are interviewing the Seth Smith from US Rugby U20s. He's in Scotland currently, and he is the youngest MLR player to date at 18 years old. Just had a birthday. He's currently 19. And, well, let's talk about you, buddy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. You've had a full day, man. I know I was messaging you at like 2:30 our time AM, and you're like, yeah, it's going to be a full day. Like, I'll be available at this time, and we're working through it, the time zone thing. And happy 4th of July, man. I don't anticipate they're really celebrating over there today.
Yeah, no, not really, but I got to see videos of the fireworks, so it reminds me a little bit of back home.
That's awesome. So, what have you been up to? Like you walked away from, not walked away from, you took a little hiatus from the SaberCats and went up to, came up to my hood up in the PNW and got some time in and went up to Canada. And tell us about that.
Yeah, so we just had a couple talks, and we figured it'd be good for me to go to the U20s, and we did the qualifiers, and that's why we're in Seattle with the qualifiers, practicing up in Bellingham. And then we took a trip out to Canada, and we knew we had to do what we had to do to get the 2 wins to qualify for the trophy, and we got the 2 wins, and we qualified, and it was nice. I had a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't miss the blistering heat of Houston at the moment.
Yeah, it was – Canada was like 65, 70. Houston was like 105. I did not miss the heat at all.
No, I can't imagine you would. So how long were you in the PNW and British Columbia?
12 days.
Oh, okay. It wasn't that long, was it?
It was not that long. It was like 12 to 14 days altogether.
Okay. And then you guys flew out of there to Scotland, correct?
We flew out of Canada. We were back home for about a week, and then we had our first training camp, or our last and second training camp in Charlotte. So
okay.
Yeah. We were in Charlotte for 12 days, and then 12, 13 days, and then we've been in Scotland for the last week.
Wow. Okay. And you're there for another 2 weeks almost? 10 days.
Yes,
2 weeks. My bad. It's 4th. You leave on the 18th, if I recall you saying correctly. Okay, it's another 2 weeks to and do you guys have anything on the agenda other than just running through scrimmages here and there?
We have practices, a bunch of meetings, just all the usual stuff you have with rugby, and then our games.
Okay. And do you have more games in Scotland between now and when you leave?
Yes, we have 3 more.
Okay. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. How was it? Like, this is your first time to Scotland, right?
It is my first time to Scotland.
I've never been. I know a couple characters are over there watching you, and they're having a blast. A lot of people haven't been to Scotland. That's not a real common thing. I know Kenny's over there watching you, and Rick Collins. So they're both over there. They watched you guys play the other day. Quite the ass kicking, by the way. Nice job.
Thank you. It was a very good first half, and then the second half, we got to pick it up, but we know what we have to do.
That's cool. So you guys get to do anything while you're over there in Scotland? You guys get to venture out and see any sights?
Yes, sir. So we'll end up probably going to the city in Edinburgh, and we'll go chill around there for a little bit. Probably have a full day excursion and go to the beaches out here. It's really rugby focused. Because, obviously we come here to win, but we're also here to, see what's around.
Yeah, enjoy the opportunity to do so.
It's an amazing opportunity to be here.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for you, to be honest with you. Like, you try to explain to people, coming to rugby, you get to play outside. You get to play all over the United States and go places, and you're living
everywhere. You go anywhere around the world playing rugby.
Yeah. Well, for those that don't know, why don't you tell everybody how you got into rugby and talk about, go ahead and name drop some family members that are, current and up and coming, if you will.
So my little brother was playing football, and they was gonna do some like Katie Select, like select side football team. My dad's been watching rugby forever. Like he's been watching it for the last like probably like 18 years because he started
Oh, wow.
watching like 10 years before I really started playing. And we were just at practice, and he didn't know rugby was in Houston, and he saw it and was like, Seth, do you want to play? And obviously, if my dad tells me he likes something, I'm always like, yeah, Dad, I like it too. And so he got me into it about 8 years ago, and the rest is history from there. I've been playing for the last 8 years, done some pretty cool things, been some really cool places, and it's just amazing. It's amazing how far rugby takes you. I mean, it's a really good sport. And then, like
It's,
you said, up and coming family members. My little brother, he's been doing his thing this year too with Woodlands, and then now he's been with the U18s Academy for Houston, and they played up in Maryland. So he's been doing his thing.
it's so cool. And your mom is just like glowing with excitement too. Like, got to meet you and her in Houston when I was there for the Chicago game, and man, I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's Seth. I'm out, guys. I got to go talk to this guy. Like, this is, yeah, I just couldn't wait to meet you, and then your mom being so cool too. Like, oh man. And then I had heard about you from Mike Brown, your assistant with Houston, and your coach for ATX or whatever, and he had so much goodness to talk about. We were interviewing in the room that you guys watch film and everything, and a bird came in and totally interrupted our whole go. And so like we were totally like, he was just starting to just really get into talking about you, and we did until we realized the camera took a shit, and we couldn't come back from it. It was like, oh man. So like, I know all this stuff about this Seth guy, but we can't put it on the air because it didn't record. So I was figuring the better thing is to get an interview with you straight from the horse's mouth and get you some camera time yourself,
Yes, sir. Get it straight from the source.
Yeah. So it's really cool, man. I'm really glad you made some time to join me, because you and I are talking about trying to do it before you left for Scotland, and then it just didn't work out between the two of our schedules. And here we are, though. Thanks. It's so cool. Just thanks
for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be on.
Yeah, this is my, people at home don't know, we were talking about before we, click this thing on to record, and like, this is my first time interviewing virtually. So, I make sure I communicated that to Seth here, and he was game. Like, let's do it, man. If we have to do it more than once, so be it, just like a practice that, just like a drill at practice. Like, we'll figure it out till we get it good,
Exactly. We'll get it done.
I love it. So you've had a full day. It's what, 7:30 your time, if I recall correctly.
Yes, sir. I believe so.
You guys already had grub tonight, or are you about to have grub? Oh yeah,
we did. I just got back from food like 5-10 minutes before we got on the call.
I'm just shoveling in.
We had a little bit of pool before, and then ate dinner, and then shot right over here.
Nice. Well, what else? Let's talk about what's your next step. You're going to come home on the 18th. You're not coming home. You're coming to America home.
So I land back in Charlotte on the 18th, and then I'm flying back to Houston the next morning.
Oh, okay. Boy, that's going to be a lot of flights.
I know. So I'll be back to Houston on the 19th.
Okay, so you get to watch them play over the weekend, and they play Dallas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that should be a hell of a game.
I know. It's been, every time we played them, it's been close. It's been like I think there's like a 3-point differential in the 2 times that we've played them.
Dallas seems to be competing a lot better than they were. Obviously, they're starting to really click. It's going to be a good game no matter what. And then we'll have Seattle playing San Diego, which, I mean, they just did in San Diego. Now they're going to go up to Seattle and bang heads, if you will. Houston gets both their games at home. So, I mean, which is good and bad, right? It's good because it's at home in front of the home crowd. It's bad because it's so bloody hot.
It's
going to be 115, man. I mean, it's going to be in the hundreds, and the humidity is going to be gnarly. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
But, the boys get to practice in it every day. So they get pretty used to it.
Yeah, acclimated, if you will. Yeah. Then again, I don't think anybody ever gets used to that Houston heat.
You can't. You can't get used to it. Right as you think it's like 105 is not too bad. Humidity hits more sun comes on. It's like 110, 112, and you're just like,
and
you
you're
can't beat
melting.
it.
Oh,
my cleats only last me like 3 to 4 months because how hot the floor is, and like whenever we played on turf, like cleats only last like 3 to 4 months. My cleats don't really last longer than 3 to 4 months.
Wow, that's something I don't think anybody would really think of, to be honest with you.
Because I used to play on a lot of turf, and my cleats would just like melt. Like the glue on the outsides would just melt. Like even on my metal studs, like they don't last more than 4 months.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So, hey, Seth needs a sponsorship for cleats. Somebody promo. Hey, Rugby Now, where you at? We need you.
Would be nice.
No doubt. I mean, hey, you might as well ask. I mean, worst case scenario, they say no, you're still
exactly. Exactly.
Man, okay. Wow. 3 to 4 months tops. That's a lot of cleats at the end of the day. Now, have you ever played rugby this time of year, this long into the summer before?
Probably never 15s. I played a little bit of 7s during the summer, but
okay, that's what I'm thinking too. It's a new spin on our rugby season, especially for 15s, of course, and going so far. Like, we started to last season in 23. They, if I recall correctly, they delayed it 2 weeks. And then this year they delayed it another 2 weeks. So another 4 weeks total since 21, 22, I should say. And then of course we got the, hence you're in Scotland. So we got the 2 week hiatus until the season starts up again. I mean, I'm telling you, but like some of these people watching the podcast, so
figured that international window, that 2 week international window where it's like all the players internationally can go play with their international side and then they all come back and compete in the MLR.
Yeah, hoping nobody gets injuries, but that's always the
exactly.
So that's awesome, dude. Okay, well, how'd you get here? Like, so Dad got you into it. When did Mom start and become keen on it? Like, was she just go team the whole time, or did she just find a moment of clarity herself? I don't know.
My mom was like, go for it. Like I have a really good support system. My family's super supportive. And so whenever I told my mom I want to play, she was like, well, you already play football. So, I mean, it can't be any worse. She's like, go ahead and play. So she supported me from the start, and so did my dad. And they were just like, they were game for it. Like, whenever I told them I wanted to play, they're like, Seth, go play. Like, go do your thing.
Good support. Man. Yeah. And Houston's huge too. Like, those that don't know, like if you got to go all over Houston for practice and such, man, you can really add up some miles. I mean, I know that where the stadium is going towards Dallas, I mean, you're on the freeway for an hour. And you're like, where are we? You're like, we're still in Houston. Like, literally. No. Yeah, we're still in Houston.
That Airport Boulevard in 288, you go straight all the way up north. I mean, like you said, an hour 15, still in Houston.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. Those that don't know how large Houston is.
You miss one exit too. Don't even if you're 15 minutes away and you miss an exit, you'll be late. Yeah. If you miss one exit, you're screwed.
Right. There's a lot of windshield time down there in Texas for everything. Too good, man. So so you'll be back on the 19th. You'll watch the game. Do you think you'll be playing in the game?
I do not think so.
Yeah, I guess not. If you're not able to practice the week before with them, they probably like, yeah, we'll keep somebody else in. So I'm curious to know though, if you end up playing if they win, let's go positive attitude. They win, they play Seattle at the qualifier. Or excuse me, not the qualifier, the Western Conference. I wonder if you'll play in the Western Conference or the championship. I don't know what they got planned for you. I'm curious to see how it plays out.
I don't know what's planned either, but I think a lot of it just depends on how the boys are doing back home and if everybody stays healthy. And, obviously we need everybody to stay healthy. and how this U20s campaign goes and how I look back home in Houston. But I'm just gonna play rugby and do what I gotta do, and I'm wishing the boys the best from here in Scotland.
Awesome. Yeah, you're doing your business, focused on it, taking care of it. You got how many games you got between now and the 18th?
3.
3. Okay.
5-day turnarounds.
That's a lot of focus in itself.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That'll be fun though. I can't wait to watch. Can't wait to watch you work your magic, bro. I mean, some of those guys got to be, I don't know, like there's other players on your team that I think about it. They're also playing pro, aren't they?
There's 4, there's 3 others right now.
Okay. Care to name drop?
Yeah, we have Dylan Fortune, who plays for Anthem, Braemar Murray, who plays for Anthem, and Graham. I would love to try and pronounce his last name, but I'm going to completely butcher it.
That's good enough.
But,
yeah, I love it.
But Graham, who plays flanker for Anthem.
Okay. So
and
you're the guy not playing for Anthem, it sounds like.
Yes, sir. And out of the MLR boys. And then we have, and well, he's not playing MLR right now, but we have Dom Bisag as well, who is USA Eagle. Who got his cap last year.
So cool. So cool, bro. You're getting those international caps yourself. You got to be loving on that.
Yeah, it's super nice. It's super cool.
Yeah. So what's your favorite part, man? What's your favorite part about doing all this touring around and getting to see the world?
The memories and the bond you make with people. I think that's one of the top tier things, the connections. I mean, they're lifelong, they're lifelong friends. Like a couple of the guys I still played with back in high school or even middle school, whenever I first started playing, I still talk to some of them. Like whenever I went to Ireland last summer, I went to Ireland, we met up with a couple of the boys I used to play with. And I haven't seen them in like 6 years. And we all got together. They came to the game, they watched the game, and we hung out with them. It's just the connections and the memories they're lifelong memories and lifelong connections.
Yeah, dude, that's huge. That's huge. You can pick up where you left off and just bond.
Yes, sir.
That's cool, man. Well, anything else you'd like to share? Like, I always like to end these with a shout out to who helped you. Like, you probably got a handful of people, if not more. But I like to do a shout out to somebody that helped you along your rugby way that you would like to plug and give props to.
Oh, there's so many people. Okay, so I'll start with my parents. Right? I'll start with my parents. My parents have been my main support system for a very long time, and I really appreciate everything they do for me, and I'm just really grateful for them. And then, we mentioned Coach Brown earlier. Love that guy. Coach Brown he's the reason why I'm still playing in Houston. He's the reason why I'm still playing rugby. I was in a situation where I probably wasn't going to play rugby anymore, and he gave me an opportunity to play with the academy side in Houston, and I feel like he was a big help to me getting an MLR with Houston. So it's a really big thanks to him. It's he means a lot, and he's played a really big part in the journey. And then one of my coaches actually is here in Scotland as well from high school. Coach Mark. Really? Yeah, Coach Mark, he coached me starting my freshman year, coached me all the way up, and I actually coached with him at U of H. I had a little time where I was coaching at U of H with him, University of Houston, with him, and and just like all the coaches, like Coach Dave, Coach Ivan. I mean, all the coaches know who they are, who's really helped me, and everybody knows who's really helped me. And for everybody I missed, I really appreciate everything. But I actually saw him after the game. He was there, and I went and chatted with him a little bit after the game, and it's another big thanks to him. But I mean, a big thanks to everybody who's been here along the way. I really appreciate everybody, and like I said, everybody I didn't mention, they know they have a special place in the heart, and they know they mean a lot to me.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, no, and you're a very sincere character. Like it's appreciated because you're all business on the pitch, as we've all witnessed and watched. But you're off the pitch. Like it's amazing on how kind and sincere you were. And us old guys, we do appreciate the love and hanging out and saying hi and such, like you do, because like you saying hi to the coach the other day, like you said, and that's going to mean a lot to him. I mean, I know outside looking in, getting this BS with you at the Seawall's game for 2 minutes, like, and a couple of your other partners at the table there. And it was just fun, dude, just to be around good energy. And, you know, you guys are all there for all the right reasons, and you're putting in time and you're repping the country better than it's been repped in a long time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
We go on.
No, like, you guys are keeping this. Not only are you winning, but like you're winning by like substantial amount. You're really like, you know, stomping it. And you know, in the past, obviously, we haven't had American rugby represent like that. So it's really cool to witness. We just gotta keep our foot on the gas. You know, we did a good first win against Netherlands, but we play Uruguay on Sunday, and we need to keep the foot on the gas and fix our mistakes and play a full game of rugby. No breaks, and we gotta play hard, and we gotta play physical. You know, keep representing the country well. Because that's one of the main things we talked about. Is it's bigger than just us now. It's not just you're not yourself anymore. It's for the whole country, and it's for everybody who supports us. Well said, sir. Well said. My shout out, my contribution would be, I'm going to go, because, you know, I'm going to go with Dan Henry from the Saber Bros. Because that guy is, I mean, he sets the presence with, you know, the Saber Bros. Like, you're invited. The hospitality is like none other. He really, like, he had this idea to do the Saber Bros, and he's got the banner, and he's got the pop-up canopy, and I mean, hell, we were doing a pig when I met you, you know, like, and the hospitality, and it just really represents Houston. It represents the South, but it really represents Houston, and the SaberCats couldn't ask for a better group of fans to represent them. MLR, I mean, this is exactly what we all want. To be invited, to be the hospitality, you know, rugby culture in general. And so, yeah, I'm going to say my shout outs for Dan Henry, because that dude is just like, he grabbed the gear on all this, and I just like flattered every time I get to hang out with those guys, you know? Yeah. Saber Bros are amazing. You know, like you said, they got the food, they got the tent, everybody's invited, have a good time. And speaking of the fans too, they support us very well. I love the fans out in Houston. They're amazing. I can honestly say, out of everywhere I've ever been, every team I've ever played for, we have the best fans I've ever like been even a part of, like even to meet. Like there's like one of the kids, you know, because whenever they come on the field after game stuff, like it was a kid's birthday and he was handing the players his own playing card, like his own birthday playing card, which I thought was really cool. And it's just the environment out in Houston is amazing. And like you said, it does start with the Saber Bros. It does. You know, they do a really good job of including everybody, and that's not always easy to do. Not all personalities like each other. That's sincerely the reality. So, yeah, it's true. Oh, good stuff, dude. I hope this takes off. I hope this is the first of many podcasts that you do to, you know, exploit yourself, let everybody know who you are, what you're doing for rugby, let alone what you're doing for U.S. rugby. It's an honor, man. Thank you for letting me interview you and exposing you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, no doubt, bro. Like you said, we've been talking about this for how long? Like what? Like 2 months? Yeah, I'd say about 2 months since. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. Yeah, like, well, yeah, well, I guess it hasn't even been 2 months now. I think about it, because like you were up at. I was up in Seattle. Yeah, you were in Seattle. You beat me home that weekend. Funny enough, yeah. I did. Yeah, I went up to Dallas the next day, and you're flying out to the PNW. Yes, sir. Yeah, so good, man. Well, we're gonna cut this off. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Seawall podcast. And thank you for